All right, I guess we clocked in. Hopefully, you guys should be able to hear me. Hey, what's going on, party people? How's everyone doing today? Now, it's definitely a great pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer. And essentially, what I do, guys, as a spiritual healer, pretty much, I help people to attain their highest level of consciousness. Now, in this channel here, to give is to receive, I use what is called the power of words to help you to attain your highest level of consciousness. Now, when I'm talking about the power of words, what am I talking about here? Well, for most people, when it comes to the power of words, or people would tell you, watch what you say, because words are powerful. Now, granted, I don't disagree with that. However, that's not what I'm referring here. I mean, you should always watch what you say. I mean, because it's coming out of you. So I'm not sure if it's the word necessarily that makes it, then you would have to understand your intention that is being put into the word, and things of that sort. So that's not what I'm referring to. When I'm talking about the power of words, I'm referring to, let's just say, what you call quotes or proverbs or poetry or lyricism, right? Or rap lyrics, however you like to put it. Now, all of these, the ones, I mean, everything I just mentioned here, they differ. They're a little bit different from each other. However, the main thing that you'll see that they all have is how they say things. So when you look at a quote or when you hear a quote for the first time, depending on the quote itself, you may feel inspired, you may feel, let's just say, motivated, or you may cry, or you may feel enlightened, whatever the situation. I'm sorry, whatever the situation is, based on what the quote is actually revealing or displaying to you. That's what I call the power of words, because you get to see it, you get to experience it, and we do it all the time, but you don't realize it's the word fucking you up. Meaning, when you see such a beautiful quote, you go like, "Ooh, this is beautiful," or you inspired by it. Because, and that's why for me, the one thing that I learned when it comes to the power of words, it isn't necessarily about the meaning of a word, and it's not necessarily what you're saying neither, but it's how you're saying it that makes a difference. Because, and that's what you'll see, when it comes to poetry, it's how it's structured. When it comes to lyricism, same thing, or proverb, or quote, or wise, or old saying, whichever name you choose to give it. What you will notice though is how it's being presented to you, because the how, to me, is where the magic is. Because in how things are being said, because you never hear certain things. I mean, you heard it before. I mean, it's it's nothing new, but how you hear it though makes a difference. How it's being said, it's like, you get to see the word acting out on you. And I know for me, like, I ain't no shame in my game. I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? I always like, I love to, you know, what's the word that I'm seeking for here? Like, I guess embodying it. I lose myself in it. The word be fucking me all up. So, and that's what I meant by the power of words. And in this channel, to give is to receive, what I do as a spiritual healer is that I use those quotes or statements or proverbs, and I expand a little more on it, because a lot of those statements, they are fully loaded. And first of all, and just to show you how powerful those statements are too, is that a lot of those quotes, they demand your fucking attention. It's almost like it creeps up on you without even you noticing. And it does a certain things to you where it makes you a lot more receptive to actually, what the message is within that quote. And another benefit of using the power of words and referring to those quotes, proverbs, and statements, if you like to call it that way. Okay, saying it, quotes. We're just gonna keep it quotes, right? Is that here's another benefit of them too? Is that they are fully packed with wisdom, whereas you don't necessarily have to go through a certain type of experience for you to actually have that type of wisdom or knowledge. But by being receptive to it, because first of all, I mean, a lot of those quotes, they will demand your fucking attention. It don't matter like what you're doing, or I mean, they will demand your attention, and this is how powerful it is. And to me, that's what I really call the power of words. So it's two things. They get your attention, they help you to become a little more receptive. So now you could delve into, or now you're able to, receive the knowledge within those quotes. And the other thing is, obviously, is that you don't necessarily have to go through certain experiences, for you to actually, grasp that understanding. So, to be honest with you, for me, this is probably the only shortcut you would ever have, because nothing else in life will give that to you. And, I mean, not even what I'm saying to you now. Because the one thing I realized about the truth is that you have to wake up to it. Meaning, I know for me personally, there's been stuff in the past that I know I've heard many a times, but I didn't fully grasp until when I wake up to it. I'm like, oh, that's what that meant. And one of those things, I know I used to hear that a lot. Used to be, and I never thought I would be the one to be talking about that shit too. Would be, you know what? For you, I mean, if you want to love somebody else, you gotta love yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's just something you would have to fully wake up to and understand. Then you go like, oh, okay. But anyway, making a long story short, I mean, that's what I do here, in this channel. And by the way, guys, I definitely would love to, invite you to check out my other channel, Lespri, where I have over almost 400 videos, man. So I'm gonna leave that channel alone for a second. Although I do have a few things going on. I mean, it's definitely something else. I have my hookah. I mean, we definitely go in. So I strongly recommend that. And that's pretty much it. Now, as a disclaimer, just so you guys know, part of what I do here when it comes to using those quotes, um, it doesn't. I mean, for me, like I always say, wisdom is wisdom, regardless where it comes from. Like a 5-year old telling the truth doesn't make the truth any lesser true because it's coming out of the mouth of a 5-year old. I mean, it just is what it is. And that's what I love about those quotes, because they display wisdom when you see it. I mean, when you hear it, it's like it's a thing of beauty in itself. So I love that shit, to be honest. But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know, because a lot of those quotes, I'll give you a perfect example. I use from Buddhism, Christianity, the Gnostics, you name it. I used it, voodoo. I mean, it doesn't really matter. What really matter is the message and the wisdom in itself. So, with no further ado, so now that you know exactly what we do here, let's just do what we do. So, as you guys see, the quote that we're going to be talking about tonight, to me, is a very powerful one. And did I say tonight? Or doesn't matter. Today. Right? So, you are what you believe in. Now, that's, oh my God. Like, I know for most people, that could be something you hear all the time. But when you really take the time to digest that, there's a lot that's being said here. Because how can you be, or how can you become what you believe in? What does that say about you, your essence? And I feel like this is where a lot of people don't really take the time to delve into it, because essentially this is referring about your essence. You are what you believe in. And one of the perfect example that I always use to illustrate that type of thinking, I mean, to illustrate that understanding, is that if you think money is everything, then it will show in your behavior. Then you'll act that way. So I'm saying that to say, like, we are a living mind, or as I like to call it, we are this living thinking thing. Because I can't really, I don't know what else to say. But essentially, when it comes to us, our thinking, plays a big part in our behavior. That's also why, if you want to take it a little bit further, then you would understand you are a reflection of your God too. Because part of your belief, if whichever God you choose to believe in, it doesn't matter. If today, right, I choose to become a 7 day Adventist, my reality will change. Meaning, my Saturday will not have the same meaning as your Saturday. So therefore, because that's what my God is asking of me, because this is how I'm thinking, so it's being reflected in my reality. And that's important for a lot of us to understand. And when you understand that, that's why, I don't really talk about, well, this is all spiritual, but in my other channel, I always take the time and talk about spirituality pretty much. And just to let you know that spirituality is simply you, it's your life. So when you understand your essence, that's why a lot of us, or one of the biggest misconception when it comes to spirituality, is to think like there's something, it's not part of your life. And the reason being is because a lot of us, we've been trained or conditioned pretty much to, you know, uh, 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 see ourselves from a self-image perspective, meaning we see ourselves through like a third party. That's why a lot of us will live our life based on who we should be instead of who we are. And you could definitely imagine what comes with it. That's why a lot of us, your clothes determine who you are. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because your self image has taken over for your self esteem. But anyway, that is a whole different conversation in itself. But as we delving into, that you are what you believe in, I mean, it's deep, because not because this is truly revealing our essence. And if you were to delve into, okay, so who the fuck are we? You are a living mind, or as the Kabbalion says it, you are a spirit. And most of us, we don't wake up to it out of ignorance. So therefore, we separate ourselves. Pretty much everything I just mentioned. But again, it's this is such a fully loaded statement, because this is reflecting how important your thinking is. Because you are what you believe in, but you also will display it in your action, in your day to day action. So you don't have to tell me what you think or how you see things. I could see it through your action. That's why we say, regardless. I mean, nobody. I mean, because I know for me, and I strongly believe in that. No one can ever lie to nobody. Do you see what I'm saying? The only thing that could definitely happen is that you don't see what they're doing, but it's being shown in front of you. Now, depending on how you choose to understand what's taking place in front of you, that's on you. But anyway, going back to the conversation at hand, I mean, if you understand that you are what you believe in, this that tells you a lot there. But most importantly, I would take it a step further, to let you know that you also reflect that in your actions. That's why, you are a reflection of your God, and that's why it's important. And that would also be a big part of spirituality, because when it comes to spirituality, it's pretty much we're talking about our story, right? This is the story of humanity, meaning, how we truly are. That's why spirituality embodies religion as you know it. So, I mean, having different perspective when it comes to who we are or God, that's what, technically what you call the day to day religion is. But that's also part of spirituality, because spirituality is you. I mean, just because you may have limited thinking about who you are doesn't mean, doesn't take away the ability that you have about yourself. It just means that, you are. I mean, that's what we call living corpse. It just simply means you are ignorant. I mean, just because you're ignorant to your essence doesn't mean you're not a spiritual being. Now, you waking up to you being a spiritual being, that's now at this point it makes you spiritual. That's when now you start taking the time to meditate. You understand you need to open up your third eye. You understand that you need more than just bread and wine, but you also need what Jesus will call the Word of God, or God's wisdom. What that pretty much telling you is that as a full human being, for you to be fully, for you to thrive technically, you have to embrace both sides of you. That's what this shit is really saying, to be honest. You know, for us to fully thrive, to be complete, to be whole, you have to understand that your life it's more than dick and pussy. But for you to even understand that, you would have to understand your nature too, because your essence will ask for it. Or if it doesn't ask for it, I mean, it's either you're not listening, or if you think it's not asking for it, let's just say it's you wouldn't be at your best. And anyone who is actually, let's just say, who have attained their highest level of consciousness, who have attained, let's just say, who have thrived as even as a person alone, you have to grasp both your physical part and your non-physical part. Again, going back to your essence, you are what you believe in. Do you see what I'm saying? And in addition to that, now the second part to this, because I wanted to, maybe I should have just, anyway, it doesn't matter. Now the second part to this, and I'll say it all at once. The second part to this is that you are that which you. I mean, you are. I mean, I can't remember exactly how it says. Hold on. Let me go ahead. What did it say here? You become that which you believe you can become. Oh my God. This is that right there. I mean, you become that which you believe you can become. I mean, that writer says it all. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's almost like I I mean, let's talk about the most. I mean, I'm pretty sure by now. I mean, if not, there's also a saying that says, the men that believe that he can and the men that believe that he can't, both of them are right. But now the difference here becomes in when you know your essence. Because the person who think that he can, When you know that you can, your brain, your mind seek for opportunity. Whereas when you believe that you cannot, where every little opportunity is an obstacle for you. So understand this. It's not what you see, but it's how you're looking at it. Because the successful man and let's just say the non-successful person, we both look at the reality is right in front of us. But the difference becomes in the eye of the beholder. And you are that beholder. So what this is truly saying is, I mean, whether we are conscious of it or not, you are also creating your reality. First of all, you have already started creating your reality by believing in whatever you choose to believe in. And just like I was saying, if I believe money's everything, then guess what? My behavior is gonna reveal that. Then I'll probably suck dick for money. I'll probably go like Didi, take that. I'll be like, yo, Didi, what's up, baby? You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to make it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I don't know. I guess it was a low blow. It was a low blow. I mean, because personally, I try not to get involved in those kinds of bullshit. Because again, I like to me, like I always tell people, man, listen, it's. I mean, do you know it? I mean, nigga, listen. You do. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I mean, it's no different from, like, because I know sometimes even, after the Cat William, let's just say, interview, right? A lot of people was concerned about what's going on in Hollywood and how people, are acting a certain way to make sure they don't lose their job. I mean, nigga, how's that different from you working at Walmart? Do you see what I'm saying? All of us, we listen, man. You maintain that mask, because you got a position to maintain, right? I mean, you're gonna go to your job and be like Monique and shit, trying to be real. I mean, don't get it fucked up. I'm not saying you shouldn't be, but there's something bigger here. It's not just Hollywood. Now you looking at a whole matrix system that you are part of. You're looking at us to begin with, who's not even being ourselves. So it's like you're not even being real. Like you want a job to be real with you. Like what the fuck? You see what I'm saying? But anyway, and that's why for me personally, I don't get into the whole Didi shit. But hey, the shit's trending now. Low blow, baby. Low blow. Ah. But anyway, but ultimately what this is referring to, going back to the conversation at hand, how powerful not just your mind is, but also how you are your mind, because your whole being is based out of what you know. Your knowledge, I mean, I strongly believe in that. What you know would strongly determine how your life goes. A strong mind, a strong body. A lot of us who became successful, well, a lot of that has to do with your mind. And Wyclef has this line that I really like. You're looking at my watch, but my mind is the diamond. I love that line. My God. Go ahead, Unc. Let them know. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's our essence. That's why your survival kit. That's why you gotta feed your mind. Do you understand what I'm saying? Again, but all of that has to do with you understanding your own nature and how you'll be able to thrive. I mean, no one become fully complete without feeding that other side of you, without embracing. In another way of saying that, without embracing both your physical and your non-physical part of yourself. Now, going back to your beliefs and how it affects you, like I'm just gonna use this as an example. Christianity is the only religion that will tell you, you got to believe in my God, your God is not true, and all of that. Well, guess what? It's not just something that they're saying, because I want you to understand that. They're saying it, they're actually repeating that because it was part of what is being said in what this, their great book. And with this being the great book, I've never seen anybody else, whatever statement that they make, we're going to pull up the Bible, this is where it says it. So again, this is not me making fun of anything, but it's for you to be aware of how critical and how vital your beliefs are. And that's why for me, without delving too much into it, I always tell people that mythology is the greatest mind control of all. And what you call mythology, of course, if you don't want to call the Bible mythology, that is fine. But let's just say those type of knowledge, because they are creating your reality. And because you believe in the Bible, and this is what the Bible does and says, and guess what your action and reaction is going to be. So you are what you believe in. I mean, whether you're conscious of it or not. You know that? And that's where I'm also trying to let you guys know. That's why, this is revealing your essence. Because ultimately, you want to change your life, well, change your thinking. So everything has to do with that. And now, so with all of that being said, then the second part to this quote, as far as you become that which you you can become, or I mean, it's really up to you, and it really has to do with your level of understanding as well. Because a lot of people, when you see obstacle, someone else will see it as an opportunity. And the one that sees it as an opportunity, guess what? I mean, that's really the difference between, if you want to call losers and winners. Because in life, there's no losers, truly, if you know what I know. Because in life, what you're truly doing is either you winning or you're learning. And if you understand that, the learning opportunity is there, so therefore there's nothing you should be scared of doing, or do you see what I'm saying? And your approach would be and should be that you can do anything, and anybody who ever done anything, we all had to fall at it. So falling and getting up is just part of the process. But a lot of us, unfortunately, that's where we get stuck. We get stuck in the falling part. You don't get up. And we take that same attitude, let's just say, in your relationship. After you got your little heart broken, guess what you do? You become very toxic. You don't want to open up. Because of the pain, but you don't realize that the pain is needed, is part of the process. If a baby didn't keep getting up, if you as a baby right here right now didn't keep, I mean, and this is not no fucking motivational shit, this is no inspirational shit, this is real life experiences shit. Anybody, whoever, like if you're playing the guitar, whatever the fuck, is repetition. Meaning, and all of those repetition means what? You falling, you're learning how to do it better, and guess what? You get better at it. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, shit, like it is what it is. But anyway, um, yeah, I think that's pretty much it, man. You know what I'm saying? Always remember, you know what I'm saying? If you think money's everything, then you do everything for money. And if you don't think money is everything, obviously you're not gonna do everything for money, right? So your understanding, what you believe in, your part of your day-to-day thinking reveals who you are, but most importantly, will also reveal your action. So anyway, we're gonna leave it there. You know what I'm saying? Haïtien, bra, Malé, Lespri, I'm out. Nothing but love, baby.